Divorce happens. In fact, it happens to almost 50% of first marriages. So let's talk about it. Welcome to Divorce Happens, a podcast to educate, inspire, support, and yes, make you laugh through divorce and beyond so that you can start fresh on the next phase of your journey. Remember, divorce happens, and then we start fresh.
You get divorced. You get divorced.
Getting divorced?
I'm getting a divorce.
You're getting a divorce.
Because she's getting a divorce.
So what if I get divorced?
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Divorce Happens, the show where we support you before, during, and after divorce with education, inspiration, and a little bit of laughter. Because as you know, divorce happens and then you start fresh. We are here with somebody I learned a lot of divorce education from during my own divorce. So I'm fangirling here today to learn more lessons from her. Leah, can you introduce yourself?
Yes, hello. I'm Leah Marie Mazur, certified divorce recovery coach for women.
And a TikTok queen and social media star and all of the things. You were one of the first people I watched when I was going through my own stuff.
Oh.
And I know a lot of people have learned a lot from you. So this is my favorite segment we do on the show because I like to say we talk to divorced humans to talk about what did you learn from your divorce, right? So Leah, what were some of the lessons that you learned from your divorce?
Yeah, I mean, you learn them the hard way, usually, right? I would say first and foremost is you really need to take the time to heal and unpack your shit. If I had done that, it would have saved me from a second divorce after my first one, right? So it's really important. It's not just the cliche thing people talk about. And then I would say the second thing is learning how to really stand on your own 2 feet. So it's not just healing, but getting yourself to a place where you know who you are and what you want and what you need and how to meet your own needs without relying on a romantic relationship to fulfill yourself or feel enough or worthy or lovable or anything like that. And then I would say the third most important thing that I learned is you don't have to do it alone. It's such an isolating experience, and you can actually save yourself a lot of stress and making a lot of mistakes and learning the hard way if you just go get support and talk to the people who have done it and can actually give you tools to make things easier for yourself.
Absolutely. So speaking of those tools, Leah, as somebody that, you now help people heal and get back their grounding and their footing, what are some little ways that people, right now can just start that healing process for themselves so they're not jumping into another relationship, or not taking care of themselves?
Yeah. Well, one of the simplest and a free way to really start healing and unpacking stuff and pulling those layers back is journaling. I mean, that was something that my therapist had told me years ago, because it's going to help you understand yourself in a different way, right? The name of the game is let's cultivate self-awareness. Because if you want to get different results moving forward, then that requires you to make different choices. And unless you can understand why you made those choices to begin with, you're going to keep getting the same results. So it's just kind of pulling it back and without judgment, just getting curious about yourself, right? Curious about what's the role you played in that relationship. It's really easy to come out of a relationship, especially a toxic one, and point the finger. Well, they did this and they never did this and they never did this. All valid, but you also played a role. And so when you can reflect on that and really figure out what role you play, whether that's, what boundaries were you not setting or enforcing? What red flags did you miss or ignore? Where were you mentally and emotionally when you started that relationship? That's the kind of stuff that empowers you to make better choices moving forward, which gives you better results as well. So I would say just starting with journaling. And if you're somebody who struggles with knowing what to write, a lot of people are like, well, I want to journal, but I sit down and I just don't even know what to say. There's so many journal prompts and sentence stems you can find online, using ChatGPT, right? And those will help kind of get those gears turning and give you a starting point to dive a little deeper with yourself.
I would say, too, go make sure to follow Leah on social media because you're always giving some really great prompts and questions. And I think that that's a really hard distinction. It was hard for me to understand the role I played. I wasn't the perpetrator, but I did have a
Yeah,
role, and that's really
sure.
hard for a lot of women. Do you find that that's a difficult?
Yeah, well, that's a hard pill to swallow. I
Yeah,
mean, to really look at the things that you participated in that also contributed to the demise, right, of the
yeah,
relationship, whether it might even be why you chose that person to begin with. And so it's hard, but that's the work, that inner work that we talk about that helps you make better choices. So many of my clients who come out of really toxic relationships, one of their biggest fears is finding themselves in another relationship like that. Like, how do I know that the next person isn't going to be like this because I fell for their stuff? It's doing that stuff, that kind of work
right,
that then gives you a whole different perspective and will help you kind of see those red flags like from a mile away and not fall for all the same, manipulation and
yeah,
gaslighting and love bombing and all of that stuff. It's just really taking a beat to dive into that stuff and also again, figure out how to stand on your own 2 feet so that you are not choosing partners from a place of lack, like
right.
we pick partners because we have a void that we're looking to fill. And that leads to choosing the wrong partners for the wrong reasons as well. So it's all always it comes back to you. It's about you.
Absolutely. So if somebody's listening to this and they're like, "That sounds great. I think maybe I'll journal, but I'm scared shitless of like starting the process of like that interior work."
Yeah.
What kind of support do you offer for people? And then also, I'm curious, what experts did you rely on during your divorce process?
Well, I mean, I offer one-on-one coaching and online courses and digital resources and a membership. I mean, we've got a ton of stuff for
Yes.
women and moms who are dealing with this. So you certainly don't have to do it alone. There's tons of tools and resources for you. What professionals did I? None. That's why I got divorced multiple times. I didn't do anything that you're supposed to do. I literally learned everything the hard way.
Mm,
And I think that's also why people are drawn to me is because I've made all of the mistakes, and so then now I'm kind of to the other side, and I'm like, don't do this. Here's what you want to do instead. Here's why you don't want to. And
right.
so yeah, I didn't have any support. I didn't have any guidance or tools. I didn't know anybody who was going through what I was going through. I didn't know what to do. So I was just kind of left to just figure things out and which is fine. I mean that was my journey, but I think that's what really it makes me so passionate about what I do now and helping so many women is because like I know what that feels like to have no fucking clue what you're
Yeah.
doing or like where to start or what not to do. And so I love being able to kind of like pass those things down to now women who are in it, right? Who can try to get things get through it a little bit easier, than I did.
Yeah. Yeah, we our lessons that we learned are other people's lessons that we can do a little bit better next time
Yes.
around.
Yes.
So when you work with women primarily, what is the kind of support that you offer them that is the support you wish you had gotten?
One of my favorite things that we offer is our membership. It's the Next Chapter membership is what it's called, and I run that with my friend and partner, Samantha Boss, who is, a parenting plan specialist and high conflict divorce and co-parenting expert. And what I love about it so much is that it is really a space where you can get everything. And it's like an all-in-one. It's a private community for moms, so you get to connect with other women who are going through the same types of things. We do live Q&A sessions multiple times a month, so you can ask coaches and experts directly, questions to your specific situations that you have going on. There's a massive library of resources that really covers everything from trial and mediation prep to documentation to nervous system regulation to navigating holidays to empowering your kids through divorce and co-parenting and transition days and what happens if you do have to go back to court or if there's custody
Yep.
evaluators. I mean, like anything you can think of from like the time you're getting divorced to you're already 10 years deep into co-parenting, it's there. And so that's something that we're so proud of. And really, we created it because that's what we wish we
Yeah.
had. It would have made our lives a lot easier to have had a place like that with like that kind of support and tools and guidance. So that's what we do now.
Yeah, and we love Samantha. She was on another episode of Divorce Happens. So you can go
Yes.
listen to that. Absolutely so important to have the community, and what you provide is really foundational, and it can feel so isolating, right? Like, just,
Super isolating.
you're like the only one of your friends who's getting divorced, and maybe everybody thought you had a great marriage, and
Yes.
it's just it's a lot, and so it's amazing that the membership that you've built and the community that you guys have.
Thank you.
Before we let you go, Leah, if somebody's listening to this and they're considering divorce, or maybe they're thinking about reaching out to you guys for the membership, what would be some words of encouragement you could leave them with today?
I would say that if you're feeling overwhelmed and scared, the fear of the unknown, it's completely normal. Everybody experiences that. But also, what's going to give you so much clarity and confidence is assembling your Avengers right now. Like, it's not just about finding an attorney, it's about getting the people in your corner who are going to really help you through this to get you there faster, get you there spending less money, and get you there with more tools for your mental and emotional health, and helping your kids, like how to empower your kids through this too. Because there's a lot that comes up through divorce and co-parenting that a lot of people don't talk about or don't realize until they're actually in it. And then they're like, what do I do? So it's really about get the right support, and get the right tools, because it will make your life so much easier.
Yes, yes, yes. And where can people find you, Leah?
You can find me on my website, which is mindfullyready.com, or I'm all over social media, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and my handle is at mindfullyready.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Leah. You have literally changed the whole landscape of divorce support, and we're just incredibly appreciative of you and the work that you and Sam do.
Thank you so much. And thanks for having me today to
Of
chat with
course.
you.
Divorce Happens is produced by Fresh Starts Registry, the only divorce registry platform for everything you need to begin again, including home items, hype team, and everything in between. Remember, divorce happens, and then we start fresh. We're here to support you before, during, and after divorce. Head to freshstartsregistry.com for more info.